everybody.
Hello, everybody.
Welcome back to Church Chats. We got cut short last time.
Yes.
And so we already forgot everything that we talked about. So we hope you got something out of the little bit that we gave you last time.
Let me just tell you the emergency, though.
Yes.
I'll tell you what the emergency was, and then I'll tell you the update. My mom, it was my birthday the last time we were on, and we were going home, and my daughter was driving my mom home. So when she got there, her friend had come to her house and had a heart attack in her house. And so my mom was calling me to tell me what's going on. And of course, if you all know that when you have heart attacks, you puke, you poop, sorry, but all over yourself, your body loses all control and you just pass out. Well, she raises her grandchildren, and all three of them were there, and they had to go to my mom's neighbor's house to call 911. So it was really bad. She was in the hospital for about 3 days, but she is back at work and stuff, and just has to watch her health. She's raising 3 of her grandchildren, so yeah, it's rough.
So they need her.
They need her.
So continue to pray for Joni, please.
Them, please.
Yes. Okay, so back on to today. We had a guest preacher. His name is Chris Hodges, and I can't remember the name of his church. Anyways, it's called what?
It is called, sorry.
Dream Big?
It is called...
Dream Again?
You're significant, not just for survival. I can't remember what's next. Dream a little bigger.
Dream a little bigger.
Dream a little bigger.
Okay, so I will have to say that I got teary-eyed about 6 times during this message because I was so relating with what he was saying. He said there's 5 different kinds of dreams. I'm going to go ahead and list them because I don't want to forget them. No dream at all. And he kind of mentioned that if there's no dream at all inside of you, then maybe there's not God inside of you. Or that God has not, he's not there, or you haven't given your life to him, or you're very far away from him. And he's saying a lot of dreams that you get from God come through visions and dreams that God puts on your heart, things that you don't maybe even think that are even possible. And I'm super guilty of this, of feeling really hopeless and thinking, that I can't do any more with my life than I already have, or that big dreams that I have won't come to fruition, or those kind of things. And it's mostly because the circumstances of life get in the way of a lot of the things that I would like to do, or my physical health, or my financial situation, or whatever it is. There's all these things that keep you in the way of your own dreams. But there's 5 different kinds. No dream at all, the wrong dream, a vague dream where you don't really define it completely or really pursue it, a stale dream, a dream that you started to pursue but it fizzled out, or for all the reasons that I was saying, and a God dream. A God dream meaning that you can't do it without him. And so, I don't know, I think the message really impacted me in the reason I got teary-eyed a lot is because he talked about making a bucket list. And I really encourage you guys to do this, but including things, and I know that when I made a bucket list before, and Becky and I have actually really done a lot of the things that we put on our bucket list. I can't even tell you where it is. I can't tell you what I've done and what I haven't. But my bucket list was very safe. It was things that could happen. And he was encouraging us to really include things on your bucket list that you think would never ever happen.
Right.
Like he wanted to fly in a fighter jet, a military fighter jet, and he's like, I could never make that happen. And it happened. It so happened he was preaching that message, and there was a couple of colonels in the audience that day, and he got to do it. He got to do the spinny spins and all those things. And so he encouraged us to go home and write a bucket list and include a lot of things that we couldn't do without God, and to revisit it monthly, to continue to spark your mind on what steps can I take toward doing that thing, and adding to it. He said his started with like 8 and now it's like hundreds.
Yeah.
And I just think that's a really good thing to do, and I think that's something that we need to do.
Yes.
If you want to share some of your bucket list stuff with us, do it. And so we, you know, obviously that makes you examine your heart and what would I do, you know, if money wasn't an option, if my employment wasn't an option, you know, an issue, or any of those things. And Becky's like, I would like to what?
There's a lot of things that I would like to do. I mean, I'm getting to the age where, not retirement age by far, but I mean, I'm to the point in my life where it will come faster than it's closer to retirement than it is, you know, starting from fresh.
High school.
So,
Yeah.
So like my ultimate dream would do what I love to do, and that's crafts, but like to support myself, travel, go to different shows around, like start small, like come around my state, but then like venture off, because there's places in Texas, there's places in, you know, in Arkansas, little bitty things that you can go and just make crafts and sell them. And I don't know, you know, I see a lot of people on YouTube doing crafts, just like the makeup community has their YouTube fans and stuff, and now I'm starting to see that there's like craft ones, you know, people that make crafts and stuff.
Hey, and one of your friends knows about YouTube and cameras and editing.
I know, but I'm too scared right now.
Well, stop it.
And I'm not technically savvy at all, none, zip. But anyways, so, but that is like a big dream of mine. I think that we could go. I think we could. I could meet a lot of people, and I could share my faith with people. And I already see, like, there's a couple people that I follow and that I'm in this community group with, like on Facebook and stuff like that. And I love their heart for God, and that's what attracted me to them. It's like a sisterhood, just like I know Sherry has with her makeup group and stuff like that. It's like a sisterhood. I have not met them or know them from Adam, just saying. But we have a couple things in common, so, you know, you never know what can happen. And so, anyways,
well, prayers for Miss Lady. There's a homeless lady that we see everywhere, every time we're in this part of town. And every time I see her, I say a prayer for her, because I just wonder about her circumstances. One of these days,
when it's cold.
Yeah, one of these days I should probably just talk to her.
Mm-hmm.
I'm always in the car when I see her. But, you know, for me, obviously, I would like to be independently wealthy and not have to work another day of my life. That's my dream. That's going to be on my bucket list. But no, I would love to retire and do YouTube full time. It's my joy. It's my passion. And I know that I would be, I know that I could build my channel in a much more significant way if I had time. That's where my restraint is I don't have time. And I wonder, is that a God dream? You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's.
But then I think that has nothing to do with God. But then I think, you know what? I make friendships there. I have relationships there. Mm-hmm. People know about my faith. I pray for those people. Mm-hmm. They pray for me. There is a sisterhood, and there's a lot of sharing of my faith that I do. It might be subtle, but it's there. Mm-hmm. And if I can make somebody else feel wanted, loved, accepted, if I can help somebody to feel happy about who they are, or feel more beautiful and go out and face the world in a stronger way, because they are filled up with encouragement or whatever, there's a lot of good that comes from that. And so I can justify that it's a God dream, because it was born out of a vision and dream that I had. But is that what I'm supposed to be doing? And I think that's where we get hung up, is that we're not sure, is this what I'm supposed to be doing?
Right.
But that's a big passion and dream for me. Mm-hmm. But there's a lot of things. I told Becky that my stepson, and I guess the best way to explain the relationship is that we're kind of estranged. He was really young whenever I was married to their dad, and I don't think he remembers as much of our time together as his sister does, because she's 2 years older. Mm-hmm. But I feel like I'm supposed to reach out to him, you know, and those are the kind of things that it's like, write him on the bucket list. Reestablish my relationship with my son, you know, things that you don't know if you're ready to endeavor, because I told her, I was like, that whole situation is toxic for me. It takes me back to a very unhappy part of my life. But you know, maybe he's in need of somebody. Maybe that's why God put that on my heart.
Right.
I really believe that if you, and he was talking about fasting and praying and spending time with God and listening. And one really significant part was write it down.
Yeah.
Write it down.
I'm bad about that. I'm bad about writing things down. Really bad about that.
Well,
and if I do write things down, I misplace them.
I was gonna say, I've had 8,000 video ideas, and then when it comes time to film, I'm like, what was that again? Because I didn't write it down. Or I've written it down in 800 different notebooks that I don't know where they are right now. So it's like, but I do think that Becky and I need to do a bucket list again, and I think we need to dream a little bit bigger.
Yes.
There's a book, I wish I knew the name of the book, but his name is Chris Hodges, and it's about dreaming. So maybe you can find out the name of the book. I think it would be, I plan on getting it and reading it, because I think today was about God saying, Sherry, you've stopped dreaming.
I think so too.
You've stopped dreaming. You've stopped allowing yourself to believe that there's more than this. And I think a lot of people are there.
I think as older you get, and the more life you've lived, I think you start getting that way. You start getting
thinking you're out of time.
Yeah, well, and just stationary, you know, not even just surviving, like just going through your day, going through the motions, you know. And it's like, okay, I just have to accomplish this.
How many times have I said that to you? How many times have I said that to you? I've said that to her so many times. I feel like I'm surviving, and I feel like I'm wishing my life away because I'm living for the weekend, or I'm living to get to the next thing. Yeah, to get to the next thing that I'm looking forward to. And that's really sad. That's really sad whenever I think about it that way. But, you know, it's also super exciting to think that there's so much more that God has for me if I would open my heart to it, if I would take steps toward it. And so that's you know, I think that he ignited something in me today, to let the hope rise up, you know, to just let myself dream again.
Yes.
And I think that's a really, I mean, just to examine, what is it that I want? What is it that God's put in my heart that I haven't taken steps toward in a long time?
Right.
You know, my second channel, that just, it didn't fizzle. I just haven't done as much on it as I wanted. And I think there's a lot of good that can come from that. But he was saying that if you have a stale dream that you want to rekindle, that you have to take a radical step to get there.
Right.
I don't know what that is.
Right.
I never know what that is.
I know. So pray. I really need to pray and see where.
And listen.
And listen. That's, stop to listen.
And that was one part that was really significant. And that is that you have to turn the world off.
Yeah. Turn the world off.
To listen to God.
Listen to God.
And that's really hard to do in this world, because we're so driven by media and constant stimulation from the world. It's hard to shut it off. But when you do, you can hear what God says if you stop long enough to listen. But there was a lot more to it than that, and I think that reading the book would be very significant if you're in a similar situation where you feel like you're kind of stuck in the mundane of life and just doing life and just letting it kind of pass you by. I would read that book.
Yeah.
But we are parked in front of Planet Fitness. Hey, there's a dream that God put in my heart that I never thought in a million years that I would ever be doing. Yeah, who is this person that is so jazzed about being at the gym? Who's going to go in there in full makeup?
I know.
And eyelashes.
And church clothes.
And
go
church
work out.
clothes to work out just because we want to.
Yeah.
But yeah, who is that person? God put that in my head, and I thought I could never do it and that it would kill me, and I'm doing it.
Yep.
We're doing it.
We're doing it.
So anyways, we're going to let you guys go for now so we can go get our workout on. But yeah, leave any comments or thoughts or prayers or bucket list items or whatever down in the description box. Maybe we could share our bucket list with you.
That would be fun.
Whenever we get it completed or at least started. And if you want
Top 10. We'll do the top 10.
Yeah, top 10 bucket list items. We'll come back and do that, and you guys share some of your bucket list items down below. Mine is full-time YouTube. I want to be famous guru, beauty guru.
I don't want to be famous, but I do.
No, I don't want to be famous. I take that back. I'm totally being facetious, but I do want to be successful on YouTube and be able to make a living doing it.
Right. Yes.
I don't want to be famous.
Well, to get there, you have to be semi-famous.
Famous comes with things that I am not ready for.
Right.
But maybe God has something for me. I'm just not.
Something planned.
Yeah, maybe I just don't know what it is yet.
Yep.
So we love you.
Love you.
And we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye, guys.